Whether it was just a childhood phase, or you still get amped to watch it every week, it's impossible to dispute the popularity of professional wrestling. Some people say it's soap opera for guys, but hey, all of their wives and girlfriends secretly love it too. It's the perfect place to enjoy the classic struggles of good versus evil, as the good-looking babyface saves us all from the villainous heel.
That's why I was there, brother, right when you needed me.
I'm your host, the Notorious Nick, and I've already oiled up my pythons and torn off my t-shirt to shreds. Man, I love that shirt too. So what are you gonna do when nostalgia mania starts coming after you? Well, you're gonna click that like button and subscribe to the channel, brother. Here's a look at some of our all-time favorite wrestling superstars. Oh, gotta go, there's the bell. It's time to find out what happened. Ric Flair. During his 40-year career, the Nature Boy Ric Flair walked with his head held high, no matter how much the crowd booed. But it's hard to be humble when you're a Rolex-wearing, kiss-stealing, limousine-riding, jet-flying son of a gun.
Y'all out there, take a good look at what's going on. Not just another pretty face.
Flair was always in the spotlight, and everyone knew that in order to be the man, you had to beat the man. In addition to his heavyweight championships, Flair also started the legendary Four Horsemen and feuded with all the greats. He was a dirty player whose motto was, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Whether it was overselling an injury, distracting the ref, or hiding a foreign object in his tights, Flair never met a shortcut he didn't like, but he was always colorful and always relevant. In his own words, quote, "Space Mountain may be the oldest ride in the park, but it still has the longest line. Woo! Big Show." When it comes to big men, they don't get much bigger than Paul Wright. In fact, all the puny little pipsqueaks that the WCW threw at him learned that lesson the hard way. At 7 feet tall and 380 pounds, even the biggest heavyweight wrestlers were no match for the Big Show, who often took them 2 at a time. He'd manhandle the competition for a little while, and then finish them off with a choke slam when he got bored.
Look at this! Big Show just tripped over that 4,400-pound Sheik!
The Big Show has the same genetic anomaly that caused Andre the Giant's massive size, and was even initially promoted as Andre's own son. They're not related, but he never corrects his fans when they tell him how much they love to watch his daddy back in the day. Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper came to chew bubblegum and kick ass. Too bad he was always out of bubblegum. But no one defined the quintessential heel better than the hot-tempered Piper. When he wasn't playing his bagpipes to irritate everyone within earshot, he was taunting them with a mic in his hand. His popular Piper's Pit segment was an early effort to promote new talent and hype up rivalries. And its popularity even led to the creation of WrestleMania. Wrestling and MMA superstar Ronda Rousey didn't want the nickname Rowdy because she thought that was disrespectful to the legend. But Piper gave her his blessing when they met.
I said, sweetheart, then you just take it and run with it.
And on the day of his passing, she dedicated her UFC title defense to Piper. She also later wore his jacket when she made her WWE debut. Mad respect. Iron Sheik. In the 1980s, the Iron Sheik was the only man with the guts to stand up to the stupid Yankee capitalist scum. He was a former soldier in the Imperial Iranian Army, and he would famously enter the ring waving the flag of Iran and twirling his handlebar mustache. He would taunt his opponents in the ring and then finish them off with his camel clutch submission move. He would later partner up with Nikolai Volkov and order the crowd to stand for the Soviet national anthem. Sheik was a natural rival for every babyface in the WWE, but he was popular backstage and a hard worker who put over a lot of young talent. Legendary announcer Mean Gene Okerlund was even the best man at his wedding. His rivalry with Hacksaw Jim Duggan was exposed as a fake when they were caught together in a 1987 traffic stop in New Jersey on the way to an event.
The worst thing about that whole arrest with me and the Iron Sheik is that folks think me and the Sheik are friends.
The Sheik was the subject of a 2014 documentary and still insults anyone and everyone via Twitter. Iran, #1. USA, Sting. Steve Borden was a former bodybuilder before his wrestling career, and was as well known for his colorful face paint as he was for his mat work. In the early days of WCW, Sting was widely considered the face of the franchise, and the answer to the popularity of Hulk Hogan on WWF. When Hogan showed up in the WCW to form the infamous New World Order, Sting adopted his famous New Crow persona. He was the one man with the testicular fortitude to take on Hollywood Hogan and his army of NWO thugs, and was always dropping into the ring from the rafters with a howl. Anyone foolish enough to take him on would learn the meaning of real pain, as he toyed with them to amuse the crowd before finishing them off with the Scorpion Death Drop.
He didn't need to say anything. He could say more with a look than people could say in a 10-minute interview.
Sting eventually joined the Wolfpack and remained a fan favorite for his entire career. He was widely respected as a locker room leader, and his opponents knew when they were working with him, they were gonna put on a hell of a show. Even his arch nemesis Hulk Hogan said that Sting should be in any list of all-time wrestling greats. And we agree, brother. Mick Foley. Most people have the common sense to avoid broken glass, thumbtacks, and barbed wire, but Mick Foley isn't most people. Whether it was Cactus Jack taking on Terry Funk in a Texas hardcore match, Dude Love shaking his booty at Stone Cold Steve Austin, or Mankind being thrown from the top of the cage by The Undertaker, Mick Foley was never afraid to take one for the team to make sure the fans got their money's worth. In fact, all three versions of Foley even competed in the same Royal Rumble. Foley was well known for his work ethic and his commitment to putting his opponents over the ring. He was as tough as a $2 steak and a natural showman involved in some of WWE's most memorable storylines. And if you've got a problem with that, put a sock in it. Jake the Snake Roberts. We know that we're always supposed to root against the bad guy, but that was hard to do when Jake the Snake Roberts was in the ring. He practically slithered down the walkway and into the ring, carrying a mysterious bag with him. After Jake coiled his arms around his opponent, everyone knew that his signature DDT was coming up next to finish the job. And after the 3 count, Jake would then open the bag to reveal his mystery partner Damien, who would crawl around on Jake's victim as he celebrated his win. Jake was as dirty of a fighter as they came, and he was also the king of ring psychology. He was such a draw that the WWF even gave the popular bad boy a pit to hiss in. Guests on the Snake Pit knew to never let their guard down, and that Jake could strike at any time.
Oh, not what you expected. Oh, it's not what the doctor ordered, is it? No.
Jake's struggles with drugs and alcohol near the end of his career were well known, but his subsequent recovery took place with the assistance of none other than babyface Diamond Dallas Page, and it's documented in the 2015 documentary, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake. Diamond Dallas Page. When the New World Order and the Wolfpack were battling for turf, WCW fans looked to Diamond Dallas Page, the working class hero from the Jersey Shore, to save the day. When the bad guys were up to no good, DDP would rush into the ring to let them feel the bang.
6'5", 252 pounds. Good God, of chiseled stone and B-A-double-D bad to the bone. I belong in the ring.
Page was always sticking up for the underdog and didn't know the definition of the word fear. He was also the go-to partner when his nemesis, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, started public feuds with NBA superstar Karl Malone and Tonight Show host Jay Leno. Page was eventually forced to retire from wrestling due to a back injury. During his rehab, Kimberly, his wife and former Nitro girl, dragged him kicking and screaming to yoga classes. He was instantly hooked and even developed his own Yoga for Regular Guys program. He still makes appearances as a motivational speaker and has famously helped his in-ring rivals Jake the Snake Roberts and Scott Hall with their substance abuse issues. We also hear rumors that he's developing a new yoga position called Downward Facing Diamond Cutter. Goldberg. Bill Goldberg had several nicknames, including Da Man, The Phenom, and the Rookie Monster, but most of his fans simply chanted his name as he stepped onto the entrance platform. Backed by so many pyros that you could practically feel the heat through your TV. His matches were usually short and always ended with his signature spear and jackhammer. He eventually amassed a streak of 174 consecutive wins, including a Monday Night Championship win against Hulk Hogan. The Hulkster's boots pointed toward the rafters of the Georgia Dome, and Goldberg ended Hogan's lengthy title reign. In fact, the only thing that broke his win streak was Scott Hall intervening with a cattle prod as he faced Kevin Nash at Starrcade in 1998. Goldberg's streak is the subject of some controversy, and some say the numbers are inflated. So if you think so, you're very welcome to tell Mr. Goldberg yourself. We double dog dare you. Hulk Hogan. Most of the world first saw Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips, the professional wrestler who squared away with Rocky, and Hulkamania officially began running wild in the 80s. The Hulkster body-slammed his way into stardom when he defeated Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 and wrapped his 24-inch pythons around his opponents before hulking out and finishing them off with a big boot and a signature leg drop. Hulk Hogan was the textbook babyface for most of the 80s and early 90s, but in 1996, he stopped saying his prayers and taking his vitamins. He appeared as the mystery opponent at the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view event, officially beginning the New World Order takeover. My man Hogan has made numerous returns to wrestling over the years.
Well, you know, Big Soup, you know better than anybody. What's this brother smoking over here?
And has also starred in several reality TV shows. What a group! Whether it's a guilty pleasure that you don't want to admit, or you proudly wear your favorite wrestler's t-shirt on a night out with your friends, we're with you. We love to watch the new guys, but to us, there will never be anything like these legends. So tell us, who is your all-time favorite wrestler? Did we leave a top 10 wrestler out? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you, and always read the juicy comments. And if you enjoyed our tussle, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for even more. And hey, tell your Wolfpack about us too, and let's wrestle. From the whole crew at What Happened, I hope you can smell what we're cooking.